welcome to this video. Today I want to talk about why natural bodybuilding is so exciting. So in this video there is no intent to have a war between natural bodybuilding and non-natural bodybuilding. Instead of going against enhanced bodybuilding, I'd rather just say what I think is good about natural bodybuilding to influence people to like natural bodybuilding, because I don't have to spit on enhanced bodybuilding. I don't think that enhanced bodybuilding should be the way it is. I think it's a shame, but it is the way it is. And so I don't really have to say anything right now about it. I just mostly want to talk about natural bodybuilding to inspire people, for example, who are watching this video and telling themselves, you know, maybe they're gonna take something, enhancements or whatever, but actually maybe after watching this video or other natural bodybuilders video, they actually think, well, I might actually go into natural bodybuilding. So this is really the goal, to influence toward a trend that I think is better overall for most people. And so this is, you know, what this video is for. So why is natural bodybuilding so exciting? So the first thing I want people to know, and probably to break the myth that we usually see about natural bodybuilding, is that the progress can actually be pretty fast and the gains will always last. If you've been training for a while, you will always be able to keep this frame as you've been training naturally, which is sometimes not something we see. If you go the enhanced route, you gain a lot of muscle quite quickly. But if you've never trained in the long run and that you stop, you will kind of lose, you know, a lot of it. But when you're natural and you've been training for quite a while, if you stop, of course, you're gonna lose a lot of gains. That's pretty sad reality. But at the same time, you still kind of keep this frame and, you know, you'll never go back to your skinny mode that you used to be. And I want to emphasize the fact that, yes, when you really know how to train as a natural, you can actually progress really fast. And, you know, really fast, then it's subjective. But in my opinion, I do believe that from week to week, you can make changes. If you really know how to train from the start, and I'm talking, you know, very intelligent program, or not so much intelligent, but like if you were actually doing, you know, some top stuff that because you've learned well how to start, you would be amazed at the results you can get, and it can be actually very quick. Now, they usually say that in natural bodybuilding, your gains are slower than enhanced bodybuilders, and if you take products, and that's why people take products. They want to go fast. They want to build muscle pretty quickly. But the thing is that if you actually think long term, I'm not even going to discuss whether, you know, enhanced bodybuilding or natural is which one is faster. Obviously, if you take products and you know how to train, you will probably put on results quicker with the products. Otherwise, people wouldn't do it. But if you think long term, and this is always what we should look at when you look at natural bodybuilding versus enhanced bodybuilding, is that in the long run, you have a lot of chances to lose with enhanced bodybuilding. Whether with natural bodybuilding, you will most likely win. Because what happens with enhanced bodybuilding is that there is a very high chance that you will not be able to continue at some point because you're gonna meet issues, health issues. And if you stop for 6 months or something like that, you will lose a lot of gains. And then there will come a lot of calm downs with the products that you used to take that you can't take anymore. So you'll never really be able to restart the gym feeling good, probably have depression, a lot of things. Whether natural bodybuilding, you will always last in the long run. So you will never stop unless you have, you know, injuries or whatever can happen, but at least you probably won't have any health issues. And so if you look at the 10-year span, yes, someone on products will build more muscle faster than you. But if you look at the 10 years, at the very end of the 10 years, you're probably gonna have more muscle than the enhanced guy. Unless this enhanced guy was, you know, very lucky to resist to the products and that he's been, you know, injecting for a while. Most of these people don't last. The only one that last, you see them on Instagram because they're famous, etc. but still we see a lot of them unfortunately dying between 40 and 60 years old. So in the end, natural bodybuilders actually build more muscle than enhanced bodybuilders. Long-term vision. And that brings me to say that you can actually build muscle very late when doing things naturally. That's also a great argument for why natural bodybuilding is so exciting. And I think that you can still improve a lot even when you get old. There are so many stereotypes, like you can't build muscle past 30 or 40. I've seen it with some people that I've met before, and then they start a gym and they realize how much muscle they're putting on. And so the good thing is that if you're a true natural bodybuilder training hard for all your life, you will still be really jacked at 60 years old or 70 years old if you keep going at it and you don't let yourself go. And you have the longevity as well that comes with it. The very good thing about natural bodybuilding is that, first, as I said earlier, there is no such thing as slower progress than if you compare to enhanced on the long term. And then at the same time, you will be able to actually see your grandchildren grow, your children, and you will be able to live until long. And it's gonna be bringing you the joys of life, which is great, which is usually when you take the enhanced route, you might not pay for it quickly, taking the enhanced route. Although this is most of the people, I think they pay it very quickly. And we don't see them, unfortunately, because they're not on Instagram. But usually what happens is that these people pay it when they're 50 or 60, when anyway health complications are starting, even as someone who's never taken anything, the health issues are starting to show up. And this is at this point when you've been taking products in the past that you develop a cancer or whatever. So by doing natural bodybuilding, first of all, we do have health issues at a certain age sometimes. So if you're gonna add products as well, it's gonna be even worse. And this is what natural bodybuilding doesn't do to you. It's not gonna add another burden to the other potential health issue that you could have. And this is great. And usually you will have a long life thanks to that. One of the most exciting things about natural bodybuilding today, I think, is that you can actually be proud of yourself because you actually do a practice that requires discipline, etc. And mostly because you're going to be able to inspire others who, for example, want to go the enhanced route, and you know that there is a high chance they might not make this decision because they're fully conscious about things, but rather because we're in a whole trend that encourages this. And so being able to influence someone to go natural bodybuilding when you know objectively that there is a very high chance it's much better for most people is great, in my opinion. By being, staying natural, and I'm not saying, noble natties, I'm not into that. I don't think that because someone made the choice to be natural is better than someone who made the choice not to be natural. I do think that sometimes you make decisions that are, that you shouldn't judge. No one can be able to judge someone else because he took that decision. If you had the same life as this person, the same upbringing, you might be in the same situation. So you can't judge someone else because he's made some decisions, objectively, and usually that's, the approach that I like to take. So it's not about, being a noble natty and that, saying that, it's better, I do this, so it's better, but it's rather to say, well, if I can influence someone to go the natural route, then that's great, because objectively I do firmly believe that it's better to go this way, and I do think objectively that this is the case. So it's a great thing to think that you can actually be proud of yourself at some point for going through all this, hard work. It gets really repetitive sometimes in the gym and you wonder why you're there, but in the end, you're just living life and you actually kind of like fight against things at the gym as well. And at the end of the day, your accomplishments aren't just, the fact that you have more muscle. It's just the fact that you've been able to reach some goals that objectively look good to the human eye, that make you stronger in life, and that, despite the hard things, you've been carrying on, lifting weights, and this is already some good meaning. although it might sound a bit like something a bit dumb, just to do the same thing every day, but this is what we do, and I think that natural bodybuilding and bodybuilding in general, and especially natural bodybuilding, represents the hard stuff that you can find sometimes in life, that you keep doing in the gym, and that you make you grow as a human, and that you keep carrying on despite what's hard. What's also great about natural bodybuilding, and I'm not saying that this is not the case in enhanced bodybuilding, because I do think that enhanced bodybuilding, again, I guess we're lucky today to have seen someone like Ronnie Coleman to achieve such a huge body, aesthetic body as well. If it wasn't for the products, of course, the guy's done the work, etc. But if it wasn't as well for the products, we wouldn't have seen that. Now we've seen it, we don't need to see more, in my opinion, but it's still amazing that we've seen that. But what I want to say is that a lot of enhanced bodybuilders, sometimes they do get results from not a lot, right? And you don't really have to use basically your mind to actually get better results. In natural bodybuilding, there is nothing that you can leave to chance. At some point, if you want to get better, you have to be more and more efficient, and you have to focus more and more on the right priorities, and to actually work very hard to get them. So that's one good thing, and it will have crossovers to other things in life, where you have to understand the priorities that you want, the things that you want to prioritize, the things that have the most results as soon as you pull the trigger on these. And it's the same at the gym. You have to really build something around you, understand the priorities, and then hammer the priorities with hard work to get the results. And last, I want to finish saying that there is a part of the unknown in natural bodybuilding that is fantastic, is that I think people don't imagine how much of a good physique you can get naturally. People don't realize yet. It's too hard for people because we've been in an industry where we don't show that. And, there's been so much enhanced bodybuilding that now the standards level of natural bodybuilding are so low. But in reality, I do think that you can reach incredible levels. And unfortunately, it's not always easy in natural bodybuilding to reach these levels, because you have life on the side and it's very hard. But for someone who, was a bit, in his passion when I was younger and didn't have, so much work to do on the side, I managed to work out, up to 4-5 hours a day. And, if you look at my videos, etc., I really reached, I think a very good level as someone who was 21, 22 years old. And I know I could have done, still a lot better, and I hope to get there again and to beat this. But basically, I know that there are techniques, there are things that are being discussed sometimes as theories that I think can actually, as a natural, make you become an actual real beast. There are theories like very high reps, nuclear overload, a lot of things that are similar to this that are still theories, but I'm testing out, and I'm quite sure that there are things that you can do to be naturally on steroids if you're gonna put in the work and the frequency in these things. And I do believe that we can reach an incredible natural physique that looks like the guy you look on stage sometimes in classic physique, for example, that are on steroids. Well, maybe not, the Chris Bumstead, etc., but some of these people, maybe not too far off. I do think that you can get the size of these guys natural if you're gonna work out very hard for 15 years. I'm not saying that it's an easy thing, but I'm saying that elite natural bodybuilders who start from 15 years old can probably reach things that people don't even imagine today. So I just want to give some hope to the ones who are, have passion from the start today, that they can actually reach some fantastic levels, and that it's incredible to just think that you might be able to build such an incredible physique just from the food that you eat, the dedication, motivation that you had, the fuel that you had from your motivation to build these muscles, and all this from natural food and hard work. The thing is, when you take enhancements even for 2 months, you're never natural again, and everyone will always tell you you got these lifts because you took this stuff, although you got most of your gains from natural bodybuilding. you will be gutted if you do that. So never, take stuff for like 2-3 months just to try out, because you're never natural again. Unfortunately, it's not so forgiving in natural bodybuilding community or bodybuilding. If you take something one day, you're on it, kind of like for the rest of your life. And you don't want, all your hard work as a natty that you got from, hard work, lifting heavy weights, that just because you took stuff for 1 month, then, people associate that with the fact that, you took stuff. That's pretty awful. So, stay natural. There's so many more things to say about this, but right now I want to make videos more often. So I'm gonna have to sometimes try to make spontaneous video like that. Hope you still got a lot of value from it, and hope to see you for our next video, guys. Take care of yourself.